From its 1,000 points to its 75,000 mark milestone, the journey of Sensex is truly remarkable. And trust me, even if you are not an active trader, this will definitely intrigue you. Hi, I'm Neha Vashisht Mahajan. Welcome to a brand new episode of ET Markets Decoder. In this episode, we will take a look at the benchmark's flight to Mount 75K. Let's begin with the timeline. The first time Sensex ever hit the 1,000 mark was on July 23, 1990. Now, after this, many big events took place that changed the face of markets and world economies. After the Gulf War began in around January 1991, India faced its worst economic crisis ever and was at the edge of a sovereign default. A worsening fiscal deficit, double-digit inflation and foreign debt levels were also a major issue then. To tackle that, on July 24, 1991, Dr. Manmohan Singh presented India's landmark budget. This was the first budget of the P.V. Narasimha Rao government, a budget that changed the face of the Indian economy. They introduced reforms and measures to solve the crisis like the devaluation of the rupee and pledging gold for forex reserves. Along with this, government worked on trade and industrial policies to structurally strengthen the economy. After that, in 1992, the biggest financial scam of the stock market was exposed. The Harshad Mehta scam, or the Securities Scam 1992. The scam was worth over 4,000 crore rupees. In 1993, for the first time, FIIs entered India. Cut to 1997, Asian markets slumped. This was also known as the Asian Contagion. This was caused due to multiple currency devaluations. After Thailand devalued its currency, Malaysia, the Philippines, and Indonesia also came under market pressure. This also led Korea to the brink of a default. India conducted nuclear tests in 1998. Right in the same year, Sensex fell 7% on the US 64 scare. US 64 was one of the biggest saving schemes in India by the UTI and was backed by the government. UTI had for years been selling and repurchasing the units at prices fixed randomly by its management rather than based on the actual value of the underlying assets. This led to massive redemption pressure in the markets and panic among investors. In 1999, two big things happened: the Kargil attack and the Sensex Big 5K mark. The year 2000 saw the massive tech bubble burst, or the dot-com bubble. This was one of the biggest stock market bubbles ever. Dot-com bubble happened after a lot of money was poured into tech and internet startups by venture capitalists in the US. About a year after this, in 2001, another scam was exposed, the Paric Scam. Ketan was a former stockbroker and was involved in insider trading, fraud, and stock market manipulation using pump and dump schemes. This led to a crash in the markets as well. The same year, Badla trading was also banned. In 2002, FIIs were allowed to trade in the derivatives segment. 2003, Sensex shifted to free float methodology. It was only in 2006, about 6 years later, when Sensex touched the big 10,000 mark for the first time. In 2007, the big IPO scam was exposed. In 2008, the biggest global financial crisis hit the markets. It was one of the most severe global economic crises since the Great Depression. Failure of financial firms like Lehman Brothers and excessive mortgage lending to borrowers played a crucial role in this crisis. Even though it started in the US, the crisis was not only limited to the US but left a very deep global impact. In 2014, before Narendra Modi took an oath as the Prime Minister of India, Sensex touched the big 25K mark. 2016 saw demonetization. In 2017, GST was implemented. IL and FS scam was exposed in 2018. Moving on to 2020, the year when COVID-19 pandemic hit the globe. The pandemic shook the entire world markets and led to deep corrections in the market, but the recovery was also quite faster. Jan 2021, Sensex again hit the big 50,000 mark. In 2023, a Hindenburg report was released that led to the downfall of Adani stocks. The stocks, however, recovered most of the losses later. In 2023, the Indian markets hit the $4 trillion market cap, and finally on April 9th, 2024, the markets reached the big milestone of 75K. Well, this was all about the journey of Sensex from 1K to 75K. We will see you next time in our next video.